Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Miss AFRINA. I am from the Set to Ace team by Ppd Melaka Tengah, and for today, our topic will be about paragraph expansion. Okay? Alright, paragraph expansion is actually a term regarding on how to expand your paragraph. That's all. Okay, it's not as intimidating as it sounds, because sometimes when we learn things through the term itself, it could be overwhelming. But today I am just going to explain to you and expose to you on how to expand your paragraphs so that you can come out with a good essays which will lead you to come out with a better writing. Okay, so let's see in which parts of which paper of SPM English paper that we can apply this paragraph expansion in. Okay, let's just straight away zoom into paper 2, kertas 2, which is writing paper. As you all know, there are 3 parts, part 1, part 2 and part 3. So I would like to zoom in, or I would like to emphasize on part 2 and part 3 for this paragraph expansion. Okay, because for part 1 it's usually about communicative message, so you don't really have to apply paragraph expansion, but if you want to, why not? Okay, but we will only focus on part 2 and part 3 when it comes to paragraph expansion. Okay, as you can see here, it is important for you to learn about paragraph expansion because in here for part 2 and part 3, you can see each one of the part carries 20 marks. Okay, in total it will be 40 marks. Okay, it's a lot, and the total of the whole paper will be 60 marks, which is a lot. Okay, the most marks in English among all of the English papers. So that's why you need to really know on how to expand your paragraphs so that you can come up with a good writing. Okay, as I said just now, we will focus on part 2 and part 3 of paper 2 when it comes to paragraph expansion. Okay, before I explain to you further on how to expand a paragraph, let's see what is actually a paragraph. Okay, as you can see in the screen, a paragraph is actually a group of sentences in which every sentence is about the same topic, and then each sentence must provide more information about the topic. Okay, as you can see in the point number 2, we have never seen or written a paragraph that talks about different topic for each sentence, right? That will be very weird. Okay, the whole writing will be very awkward. Okay, so let's see the example. Canada has an excellent healthcare system. They also prioritize maintaining high standard in education. Plus, Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. Okay, this example actually proves all of the 3 points above. Okay, it's a group of sentences. Okay, a paragraph. This is a paragraph, right? It's a group of sentences. And then each sentence is about the same topic. If you can see, if you can recognize, the topic for this paragraph is Canada, okay, generally. And then each sentence must provide more information about the topic. Okay, since our topic is about Canada, you see in each of the sentence is about Canada. Okay, which each sentence tells more about the topic, which is Canada in this example. Okay. Okay, as you can see on the screen, this is the typical scenario that always happens whenever a teacher assigns students to write. Okay, so teacher, I always end up having no idea what to write about. Help me. Or teacher, I don't know how to start. Teacher, what to write in the body paragraphs. Teacher, what to write. Teacher, how to end this essay. Okay, those are the kind of questions that are typically being asked to the teacher whenever a teacher assign their classes to a writing task. Okay, seems familiar to you, isn't it? Okay, so today we will try to learn on how to overcome this problem. Okay, first thing first, as you can see on the screen, this is the formula that I have applied when it comes to writing. Okay, this formula was introduced to me by my Bahasa Melayu teacher when I was in Form 2. Okay, so in Malay we call it as ichuk. But in English, I translated it for you. Okay, you just have to remember this formula, PIC. Okay, of course you can remember the P abbreviation and then you add IC at the back. Okay, PIC. So, what does it mean by PEEIC? Okay, let's go through one by one. The first P abbreviation is point. Okay, E stands for elaboration, another E is for example, and then the I means idioms or interesting words or clauses or sentences, and then conclusion for the last C. Okay, in what types of essay can we apply the PIC formula? Actually, in all kinds of essay. Okay, narrative writing, cause and effect, argumentative essays, research papers, compare and contrast, the 5-paragraph essays. Okay, 5-paragraph essays are actually the typical kind of essays that the teachers always assign you to do. Okay, to write, which has 5 paragraphs. Usually you have the introduction paragraph and then 3 body paragraphs and then the conclusion paragraph. Okay, that is a 5-paragraph essay. So PIC can be applied to any kind of essay. As we all know, in each paragraph there should be a main idea and also supporting details. Maybe you have known about this before, but if you haven't, I will expose to you about it now. Okay, the main idea is the most important point of a text. Good readers determine the main idea by looking for details in the text. Okay, as you can see, our main idea is represented as the tabletop, okay, of a table. And then the supporting details. These details describe or explain the main idea of the text. These details are important to the text and support the main idea. So supporting details are represented by the stand, okay, the table stands. Okay, that's why both of these main idea and supporting details are actually crucial and pivotal in writing your paragraph. If you apply this PIC formula in writing your paragraphs, you will at least have 5 sentences in your hand already. Which means that for each one of the abbreviation in the formula PIC, you have to come up with 1 sentence. Okay, example, for point, you need to come up with 1 sentence. Elaboration, you need to come up with 1 sentence, and then the rest, and the same applies to the rest of the sentences. And the same applies to the rest of the abbreviation. Let's go through one by one letter of the abbreviation PIC. Okay, the first letter is P, which is point. Okay, what should we have in the point sentence? Okay, in a point sentence, it has to have a main idea, and then it has to provide the subject for discussion, which is basically the main idea, and then supported by a list of details. Of course, the details that come after the points should be the supporting details. Okay, like we saw in the example before regarding Canada, you can see how it started off in the paragraph. It started off with the main point first. Okay, it's always like that. So first thing first, you need to state the main idea. Alright, the first sentence should be about the main idea. The second letter, which is E, which stands for elaboration. So elaboration is a sentence to explain the main idea a little further, and it is an addition of more detail concerning on what has already been said, which means that in elaboration sentence, you just need to elaborate just a little bit about the main point. That's all, okay? Add some information to explain a little further. That's all. Next letter is E, which stands for example or examples. Okay, what is the purpose of this example sentence? Okay, first is to back up your statements, and then it can also add value to your writing, as in it can make your writing has more clarity. And then making a statement without using examples can make writing muddy, as well as create more work for the reader. Okay, for the third point, whenever you read something, of course, you'll find for the examples, if the points or main ideas and elaborations are still not enough to make you understand, okay? And as soon as you find the examples, you will find yourself in a position that you understand a little bit more, right? So that's why you need example sentence in your paragraph. Okay, the next letter is idioms or interesting expressions. So why do we need this kind of sentence in a paragraph? First reason is to give a new creative way to express a point. Of course, whenever you apply an idiom or interesting expressions in a paragraph or in a sentence, automatically it will attract the readers, right? And then rather than saying you're correct, one could say you hit the nail on the head. Okay, this is an idiom, which is a more complex and interesting expression. Hence, will attract readers to be more engaged with your writing. Okay, the very last letter in the PIC formula is C, which stands for conclusion. So sometimes students, not actually sometimes, most of the times, students take it lightly when it comes to writing a conclusion in a sentence because they don't think it is important. Okay, they don't think conclusion is important. So let's see why a conclusion sentence is very important in your paragraph. First is to wrap up a writing and reinforce the main idea that is presented earlier in the paragraph. Okay, if you write a conclusion, it will make your your main idea and also your supporting details stronger. Okay, and then it is also one of the key elements of academic writing, of course. So conclusion is very important to wrap up everything in one sentence and make each one of the sentence stronger and firmer. Okay, let's take a look at the example. Okay, in this paragraph, I have already applied the PIC formula. Okay, this is actually a very simple paragraph. Why do I say simple? Because the words used are not bombastic or flowery at all. But from afar, you can see that the paragraph looks complete. Okay, like I told you, if you apply PIC in your writing, you have at least 5 sentences in your hand. Okay, let's take a look at the sentence itself. Exercising and eating healthy among children. This is the topic. Okay, let's take a look at the very first sentence. I think parents should make sure that children get enough exercise and eat healthily. Okay, this is obviously the first P, which is the point. Okay, the first P should be in one sentence. Another sentence, I believe exercising is important even among children because it can keep them healthy and happy. This is of course the second letter in PIC formula, which is elaboration. You see, this is the point sentence, and then the second sentence is the elaboration, which explains a little bit more about the point sentence. And then see, for example, the third sentence in the PIC formula. Okay, examples. For example, usually when a person exercises and eats healthily, they are less likely to catch a sickness. You got one example sentence over here. Alright, so far so good, okay, in this paragraph. And then the next letter in the paragraph is PIC. Okay, if you look at the next sentence, this also applies to children. Furthermore, when children exercise and eat nutritiously, they will certainly feel better and have lots of energy throughout their daily life. Okay, this doesn't follow the flow of PE, but I didn't tell you this before. Actually, when it comes to applying PE in your writing, you can put it. You don't have to organize it. Actually, you can put it according to your convenience. Okay, like in here, we put elaboration. Okay, elaboration sentences. Okay, after the example, elaboration, and then elaboration again, and then here. Okay, we go back to the formula PE, which is interesting. The next letter, interesting expression or idioms. Okay, as they always say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And then the very last letter, which is C, conclusion. Hence, parents should always make sure that children exercise and eat healthy to maintain their children's health and happiness. Okay, so in conclusion, you can actually apply this PE formula according to your preference or your liking. Okay, maybe you want to add more elaboration after examples. Maybe you want to add more elaboration after interesting expressions or idioms. It's up to you. Okay, but typically it will follow accordingly. P and then E and then E and then idioms and then conclusion. End of the day, it's your own essay and also your own writing and also your own paragraphs. So try to do it however you like and try to apply this PE formula in coming up with a better and clearer paragraph. Alright, SPM Takers 2021, the ball is now in your court. May everything be eased for you, do your best and break a leg.